Hello, welcome to Bilu TV channel. My name is Christopher, and today we are going to be learning a whole lot. But first of all, please, if you're just joining us, this is Bilu TV, like I've said, but try as much as possible to subscribe. Just click on the subscribe button down below on the screen right here, and then you will be a proud family member of the Bilu TV. I would indulge you to smash the like button down below. Turn on all notifications so that in due course all our videos will get to you. Today we shall be discussing beginner's guide to organic farming and poultry farming in general. Rule number 3: don't leave your farm in the hands of a novice. Don't leave your farm in the hands of, even if it's your brother, your sister, your wife, or your partner, your business partner. You know, there could be different type of business partner. You could be having somebody who is your business partner and doesn't really understand the rule of the game, but what he's good at probably is good at providing the finances for the farm, or he's good at, you know, the legal aspect of, you know, your business or whatever. So if he or she is not really knowledgeable as far as the biology of your birds or the biology of the animals that you guys are taking care of is concerned, don't make that mistake of leaving those birds or leaving your farm in his or her care when you are away on a long journey, because at the end of the day you will end up regretting it. Because when crisis come, the wealth of knowledge you have, you cannot really, you know, communicate it via the phone if that person is not really as passionate as you are in the field of poultry. So the best thing is raise your birds to maturity or to a point where they are no longer so, you know, fragile that you can even just decide to say leave it for 2 or 3 days. Otherwise, I would always advise that be close to your investment. Be close to your investment. But when you want to achieve this act of being able to travel and go far and have your freedom, is when you have, you know, gathered enough experience with them and have been able to pass it to your farm manager or your farm worker, that you can decide to, you know, embark on a long journey or a journey that could take you a couple of days, because you now know that your farm is in trusted hands. So that's rule number 3: never you neglect your farm in the hands of a novice. So that is rule number 3. I hope you guys are following. All right. Rule number 4: don't starve your birds and don't overfeed them. Remember, in as much as this act of farming is a farm exercise, but it's also a business. It's good you understand both the business aspect of your farm and the biological aspect or the agricultural aspect of your farm. Do not underfeed and do not overfeed. If you are underfeeding them, nothing is for free. That is one thing you should understand. Even animal understand that rules. Chicken cannot give you meat. For instance, broilers cannot give you meat when you are not giving them enough food. When they are not gaining enough nutrients from the food you are giving them. When the food you are giving them is not rich enough. Broiler cannot give you weight. And that weight is what you are banking on to sell your product. They cannot. But when you feed them appropriately, they will give you the expected weight. Don't over indulge them in this act of feeding. If you do, chicken are so stupid. All of them, whether broiler or whatever chicken, they are so stupid, they are so gullible, that when you give them feed and you do not control the amount or the quantity of feed you give them, when they are no longer hungry, if they have access to jump into the feeder, they will help you to waste it. They will scatter it away. They will help you to scatter the whole food away. Understand? So now, what you are supposed to do is to follow appropriate feeding schedule, appropriate medication schedule, appropriate feed formulation if you are formulating feed by yourself. But if you are not formulating feed by yourself, please patronize the best feed brand, the best commercial feed brand that works for you. Don't underfeed, don't overfeed your birds. Don't starve them and don't overfeed them. Because when you overfeed them, you are losing money. Every piece of food, every speck of their feed that is lost, remember, when you do your bookkeeping, they are reflecting into your loss account. Rule number 5, always keep record of your farm. Bookkeeping. Bookkeeping is very, very, very necessary. However, bookkeeping could be a difficult task. If you are alone on the farm, it could be very difficult. As a beginner, learn to cultivate the habit. No matter how tough, no matter how busy your schedules are, make sure that you are able to operate spreadsheets, that is Excel, on your phone, your tab, your laptop. If you cannot do that, draw it out on a paper, write it in a book. Get a book. All the items you have brought into the farm, that is the input, record them. The items used, record them. The birds that you received, the inventory, record them. The mortality, you record them. And when they have matured, record your sales. And then the amount you have spent, subtract it from the revenue. That means the amount you use to sell your birds. That will give you either your profit or your loss. With this, you'll be able to track whether you are profiting in the business, you are progressing in the business or not. Before you inject new money, quote unquote, before you inject extra money into the investment, you are supposed to look into your bookkeeping, your record, your farm record, to know whether you have lost, whether you need to inject more money, or you are made profits, and then what part of the profit are you applying back into the business? As a beginner, do you intend to apply the entire profit back into the business to grow it, so that now that you have gained the knowledge and the experience of managing like 100 birds, maybe you can now try 150 birds or 200 birds or 300 birds gradually, and your farm will grow. So bookkeeping is always very, very essential for every stage of professionality you have attained in farming. So as a beginner, learn it. So when your farm has matured, so when you have grown so big in the farming industry and your farm has become so big, you can employ an accountant to help you keep your book, because this is just a little discussion of bookkeeping, but bookkeeping is a whole lot of subjects. Because if you don't have a good farm record, if you want to even seek a loan, you cannot even get it.